Welcome to Pottscast. We're having a very special episode today. It's the 2023 wrap-up episode, and instead of having a guest, we've got a friend.
Yeah.
So we've got Jordan with us.
Hi, Pratts. How you doing, man?
And we have a friend of ours that we used to work with only a few years ago, still a friend of ours today. We have Steve with us.
Hi.
As you can...
Thanks for having me.
That's all right. And,
That's what you meant to
as
say.
you can tell, he's a bit of a newbie to being recorded
Yeah.
in anything other than criminal convictions.
He's quite shy, aren't you,
Yeah,
Steve?
well, he needs to drink that, and maybe you'll be a
He has
lesser-
been drinking up.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
He's been on the bourbon. tonight.
Lubricated. That's what we call it in the
Well-oiled.
comedy game.
Yeah, so we're just going to be talking about, 2023, but topics that we are... topics we have interest in or we're like maybe slightly versed in, so don't expect any Palestine or war and Israel and stuff, because we don't really know about that and we don't want to pretend we do.
No, that's absolutely right. Yeah, no, but we have, me and you, Jordan, have gone through topics over the last month of things we want to cover, things that have happened recently, and things that have just happened through 2023. So let's make this sound organic. And the thing that's happened not so long ago is the passing of Matt Perry, who played Chandler in Friends. Let's start with Steve, because he's obviously the most not shy person in the room. What are your thoughts on that? Because you're a Friends fan as well, Steve, aren't you?
Yeah, I only watch it every day.
Do you literally watch it every day?
Yeah, it's my wallpaper, if you will.
Like,
He has the box set 3 times.
do you mean like...
Not even a joke.
DVD, VHS.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, I literally fall asleep to it still. So.
I didn't know that myself.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know you liked it that much. So you're...
Well, it used to be The Office or Red Dwarf, but they took it off Netflix, so Friends was the next thing.
Okay, that's cool.
But, yeah.
I know you're a big fan of Red Dwarf and stuff. I didn't know Friends was that high up, so you're quite devastated.
My wardrobe curtain is Friends.
I mean, to be fair, for me, Matt Perry was always... I love Fallout New Vegas, and he
Oh, yeah, of course
plays
he's in
Benny
that.
in it. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
he's
forgot
brilliant.
about that.
So I actually started playing it again recently. Why not? Yeah, really sad. I mean, I'm not a Friends fan, so...
I think even if you're not, you watching a few episodes, you'd know he is the funny one.
Not Ross, or both of them? Or...
Ross is okay. I just think Chandler, all the way through, is pretty funny.
I think, Chandler's funny. Chandler's trying to be funny in it, and that is part of the joke. Whereas Ross is normally funny because he's just getting annoyed.
Yeah.
Joey's funny because he's trying to shut everyone up and eat everything.
Sounds hilarious.
Oh, God, just
No,
because
but-
you don't watch Friends.
I always thought he was clever with how he was. I don't particularly find the characters Joey or Phoebe funny because they're stupid, and to me, stupid isn't funny.
Yeah, no, absolutely agreed. They made Joey stupider as it went on.
Yeah.
And I think they all have really great lines in Friends. But what I would say is that Chandler, he's just sarcastic, and that is his way. And I think he's like that off screen is the
That's the thing.
impression.
I think he is kind of playing himself to a degree,
Yeah.
isn't he?
You know how he got the part was because he was going to be playing a baggage handler on a program in 2193 or something stupid like that. You know this? This?
No.
He was going to be playing a baggage handler, and he couldn't be in Friends because if the show got picked up, then he would have had to have been in that because he'd signed a contract.
Wow.
And surprise, surprise, that program didn't get picked up. I mean, it did sound like a hilarious concept. Baggage handlers in this day, not interesting, but 2193, fucking that is obviously riveting stuff. And then the rest, as they say, is history. And he got the part because they wanted him to start with, but they couldn't have him.
When you say 2193, you mean it was like set in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds as good as I think it was literally as good as it sounds, which is why it didn't get picked up.
Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah.
He spoke about that before.
Yeah.
Hasn't he?
He's talked about it on sort of Graham Norton and other programs about it and stuff. Radio podcast.
So yeah, obviously Friends is a beloved, sitcom from the 90s. What about Fraiser? I mean, Fraiser is a beloved sitcom from the 90s.
Yeah.
What about the new... Because the thing is, I know that Potts has watched a few of them, I think.
I watched 2 episodes.
Yeah, I saw about a minute of the first one with Potts and...
What, the first new episode? Right.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So I've seen 0 Frasier, so...
What, any old Frasier as well?
Clips, but nothing. I've never sat down and watched it, so...
See, I love...
My input on this will be great.
Classic.
Yeah, but then that's interesting. We'd like to know what you think of it.
But this new one's got Nicholas Lyndhurst in, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but come
Rodney
on.
from Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah.
For those who don't know Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Well, some people might not.
No,
'cause, I mean,
that's why I said it.
like, what's he done really in the last sort of 10, 20 years? I'm sure he has
Not a
done.
lot.
So is he playing a character that was in it before, or is he just a new...
The only returning character is Kelsey Grammer as Fraiser, and I think that's because like everyone doesn't get on with him.
They've
or
got
something.
cameos.
That kind- yeah,
They have
I'm
got.
sure.
They have had cameos.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
But it's not like Niles or Roz or.
No, no one good. No, it. I mean, to be honest, I was never a massive fan of it. Yes, there were funny parts of it, but for me, you know, I thought it was okay. I thought there were funny jokes in it, but I can't get excited about something I didn't really care about the first time round, and that's just my. But whereas Friends that we were just talking about, like I watched that from the beginning because you know it was obviously like a massive phenomenon. But for Frasier, yeah, I think it's okay. The episodes are okay. They're fine. Was it worth bringing back from a financial perspective? Possibly. It's
for
like
them.
Paramount Plus. Yeah, well, it's on the streaming service now, obviously, and that's the way the world's gone. Is like to try and pump it into like the IPs that they've got. But we live in a world where we just cannot move on. Where we are just constantly bombarded with films being rebooted, remade, sequels, ignoring 30 years of what's happened. Let's be honest.
Like
You know
what?
what I mean?
Elaborate then.
Well, fucking Star Wars for a
Star
start.
Wars.
Yeah, look at that. Like,
Halloween.
you can't win. George Lucas brought out the prequels, and they were like, "Oh God, this isn't like the original Star Wars." Then they made the sequels. Disney bought it off him, and then they made sequels exactly like the original. I was like, "This is exactly the fucking same." But you can't win, then, can you? Because they're moaning it's not the same,
Yeah.
and then when it is the same, they're like, "Yeah, it's the same, but Luke Skywalker's now called Rey." Oh right, okay. But Luke Skywalker's also in it, right? Okay.
Right.
It's a bit. I think we can't move on anymore, and
Okay.
we all know that's because Take That came back and it was successful, and they ruined it for everyone. Ever since Take That came back, everyone just has to carry on just living in a... I'm still playing games. In 2001, I played the Xbox. I was playing FIFA, Halo, and Grand Theft Auto. In 2023, I'm playing FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, and Halo. I'm
But-
still playing them.
Well, I mean,
I'm guilty of it just as much as everyone
That's
else.
what I mean. I find,
I'm guilty of it.
I find it quite weird that you don't enjoy prequels and sequels and stuff like that because you seem quite nostalgic with everything else.
yeah.
I wouldn't say I don't. I wouldn't say I don't enjoy them. I just say that there's a right and a wrong way to do them. I think if you've got a story to tell, fine. But there's too much with a lot of these sequels, there's too many kind of like, what's the word? Where they kind of please the fans. What's it called when they kind
Lip
of
service.
Yeah, there's too much of that where they're like, oh, that was in the first film. Do you know what I mean? Like just like, oh, it's the same noise it made when we watched it in the 80s. You know, like
But you like stuff like that as well.
I like it. I like it, and I don't.
Yeah.
I think we are a victim. I think we're all guilty of it, and I am especially. Where we'll go, oh bloody hell, get a new idea. Why is Deal or No Deal Big Brother come back? And then you'll go, what's this shit? I've never even heard of it. Just bring fucking Big Brother or
Yeah,
Deal or No Deal.
exactly.
We're all guilty of it. I think we live in a world now where we're just nostalgia rules. And how many times? Well, me and Steve recently saw Blink 182. Well, we saw them, over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When they were coming back then, and that wasn't even the first time round.
Yep.
And, and if someone came up that we never heard of, we'd go, who's this twat? We're not paying 180 quid ticket for this wanker. We don't even know they are.
Yeah.
So you kind of can't win, really.
So what was? Yeah, you enjoyed Blink, and like, I mean,
Brilliant.
that sold massively, didn't it? Like, did massive numbers.
Yeah.
It sold out. How many nights did they do in London? And was it?
I think it was just the two.
Two, but it's a world tour, so they've done
Sure.
Vegas as well, haven't they? They've done it's phenomenal demand. But that's just an example of how it's working in regards to nostalgia. But it's in every aspect. It's music and it's films and it's games.
Speaking of games, like
I was going to say,
Resident Evil 4
yeah, so I was
got a
going to mention
remake.
that.
Dead Space got a remake. They both came out this year. At the start of the year, Dead Space was January. I played Dead Space through. I'm a massive Dead Space fan. Steve is a fan of Dead Space as well. Don't know if did you play the remake or
I've not played the remake yet. No.
no, but I can tell you about the remake of Dead Space, and I thought it was pretty good. Like it was cool. Did sort of capture the vibe. They did sort of have some just modern day sort of improvements and stuff. I don't know if it needed to happen. Maybe like a Dead Space 4 would be better, but I enjoyed it. It was all right. But I mean, the Resident Evil series, they've remade the first like 4 now, haven't they? And you played 4.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think every one of them has been, well, I don't know about better, but just as good, if not better. Obviously, I love Resident Evil 2, and I thought the remake of that was incredible.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it was absolutely incredible. Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation is probably my favourite game ever. I think you've said that before as well. We both agreed on that. I don't think...
Can they replicate that though? Like the bit,
No,
in the,
of
bit in
course
the
not.
shop where he goes, "Now go out."
It doesn't say out.
No, well, all right. I didn't have the 2 disc set. I fucking.
You didn't have a PlayStation.
No, I did have a
You
PlayStation.
had a
I just
Dreamcast.
played good games. You know.
Oh,
Sorry.
what? Fucking...
Metal Gear Solid.
Fancy Star Online.
You didn't play that, did you?
No, I don't think Fantasy Star Online was on PlayStation
think
1.
it was.
You had a Dreamcast.
Oh, I did have a Dreamcast.
Yeah, the cast.
Had a-
If they brought the Dreamcast back, would you be playing that right now, mate?
One of 2
Yeah.
people in Bognor.
One or two people
That's
in
not
England.
that, one of 2. Yeah, in the world. Yeah, it wasn't any of us.
You and Roy Plale Howard.
Yeah, exactly. We went down to Megazone. Yeah.
Did you get
How
Crazy
did that-
Taxi?
How well did that end up at Megazone?
Crazy Taxi on release?
Crazy Taxi on release. Yeah, I got Crazy Taxi on release.
You still like
I got
that,
House
don't
of
you?
Dead
You still
2.
play with Crazy Taxi? Enjoy Crazy Taxi?
I like Crazy Taxi.
Was it? You were telling me that Martin was really good at it.
Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I
I'm
couldn't
so
believe
shit
it.
at any other game.
No. Well, no.
Well, you don't
well,
have
yeah, no.
patience for other games.
He doesn't, like... This will feel like we're just slagging you off now, but...
Yes.
Brilliant.
Slagging
He's
all
good
you
at
lot off.
GTA, like on the racing online and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, you just have these certain games that you're really good at, and Crazy Taxi is one of them. It blew my mind how he
Yeah.
plays that
I
game.
I think that is a really good game, and if it's done right, I think remakes are brilliant and films and games, and there are examples of that where they're absolutely brilliant, and or sequels like Ghostbusters. We were talking about that coming out, Afterlife. That was done quite well. Don't get me wrong; it's not my favourite film of all time. I did like the original Ghostbusters, but they kind of did it right in the sense of there was fan service, maybe a bit too much fan service, but they did it where it wasn't trying to be exactly the same as the first movie. But I think a lot of these things come out that they don't do it right. Robocop's a film that I obviously like quite a lot, and I'm playing Rogue City, which is a sequel that takes place after Robocop 2.
That
So
came out this
have,
year.
have they actually come out and said it's canon then?
Yeah, well, yeah. So yeah, it comes out. Yeah, they've said it's Robocop 2. It's a sequel after Robocop 2. It also mentions the drug Nuke, which is in Robocop 2 in the game. They ignore Robocop 3 because exactly, yeah, jetpacks and fucking samurai robots. It turns out that wasn't a good idea. And I've got all the original cast. I say all the original cast. They've all the likenesses, and then the Peter Weller reprises his role as Robocop. Now, it's not perfect, because it's been made by a smaller studio and the graphics are good, but still a little bit sort of like dead in the eyes. You know, when they have the animations not quite right. But it is a very good game, although I'm getting a bit annoyed at the moment because my checkpoint isn't saving and I have to keep doing the same bit over and over again. Why won't they just let me save it at any point like you used to be able to on a PlayStation memory card? I don't
So it's not
know.
Tomb Raider 2, mate.
Like, I think sometimes things are best left remembered, in a positive way. What would you agree with that, both of you too? Or
I would, but I think there's an example this year of something that was perfectly done, and that was bringing The Last of Us to TV.
no, I forgot about that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. We've all seen all of that. I would 100% agree with that. I think it was brilliant, and I didn't even play the games thoroughly.
Yeah.
Me and I convinced Steve to buy it, and we just got stuck on the puddle bit, and I don't think we ever went back to it. But even if you don't like the games or didn't complete them,
Yeah.
it's still amazing.
Yeah, like...
That is the best conversion of a game I think I've ever seen. And I know, like I said, I didn't complete the game, but I watched a good chunk of it. It's so close to the source material. Even the music they've kept. They've done it right.
Yeah, I mean, I played the death out of it. I'm sure Steve did as well. Very, very faithful to the game. And even the bits where they sort of deviate are great. And still tied to the game, if that makes sense. They sort of like Bill's relationship. They focus a bit more on that. They spend like a whole episode on that, which is in the game that's just found through some files that I think you can find on the floor. You can sort of make your own mind up about that and stuff. I've really loved that they fleshed it out. Yeah, and they changed a couple of bits. I mean, like, spoiler alert, obviously, but like with Tess dying, it was different in the show and stuff. But it wasn't so. None of it felt so far removed. You didn't feel like you were part of the world and everything. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, I thought they adapted it well. I loved the first game so much so that I actually refused to play the second game because
You can say it.
well, obviously I've heard what's happened, and yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you know what? I played the second
Oh,
game.
you didn't play. You didn't buy the second game or play it.
No, I mean I had it spoilt for me anyway. What happened with one of the characters, and it just put me off playing it. To be honest.
Yeah, I can.
And I've heard it's a great game as well.
Reboots cast. Segueing nicely into we're talking about things coming back and reboots and remakes. The Beatles released their first song, if you can call it that, months ago, and so they say it's a Beatles song, but it basically is a tape of John Lennon mumbling something, and then they've gone, "Oh, I know what, we can turn that into a song," and then they've used artificial intelligence to turn it into a song, and they've gone, "Oh yeah, but look, George Harrison's on the guitar, and we used that from a '90s clip." And then they've got Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, obviously the only surviving members of the Beatles, sort of awkwardly in the music video, just kind of like it looks really badly CGI'd, where they're kind of all together.
Yeah.
It looks like someone's done it on like MS Paint or something.
It probably is CGI if they're all together.
I didn't think much of the song either.
CG
To be fair, this is the first I've heard of it, and yeah, I'm not particularly a massive fan of the Beatles, but I think even just listening to what you're saying, I think this is what we're going to expect now with AI. Is stuff like this.
Well, I sent a clip to Jordan of a clip of Johnny Cash doing Blank Space, which was, I don't know how they'd done it through artificial intelligence, and it sounded like it was him singing it, and the song was written 16 years after he died, and he's been dead 20 years, and it was, if you didn't know, you'd be like, oh, that's wicked. If you didn't know he was dead, you'd be like, oh, that's brilliant, I didn't know he did that.
It's a really good version, actually.
It's scary. I don't know if they've used a sound alike and then manipulated it. I don't know how they've done it, but it sounds, not only does it sound unbelievably real, it also sounds really good. And it's scary that we live in this world now where just like, what can artificial intelligence not do? Is anyone going to have a job left?
Well, I mean, I wanted to ask you about that anyway, because like there's ChatGPT and OpenAI and all that sort of stuff.
Basically, it's Skynet.
Yeah.
It is Skynet.
What do you think? Like, because I feel like you are fascinated by it, but you also don't like it.
I am fascinated by it, and I don't. That's this in a nutshell. I don't like it. I don't think there's anything to like. I think it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make us useless.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where probably a debate where people have had it for a lot of times, which is what would you rather have, someone or a government in charge, or would you rather have a Skynet essentially, but not quite as bad, hopefully, in charge, because they haven't got an ego. It hasn't got those kind of like agendas where it's trying to sort itself out. It's but the problem is it going to do what Skynet does in Terminator and launch a nuke and go, well, if we launch this nuke, I mean, it's not going to speak like that anyway, but if we launch a nuke, it's going to kill a lot of people, but we've worked out it'll save more than it'll kill if we don't do anything. And that's the way that the world's going. Like, let's be honest.
But how close are we to that, do you reckon?
I think you give it a couple more months. No, not couple. But it's yeah.
I think it's closer than people realise.
Sure.
But to be fair, I'd probably vote Skynet in over this government.
What's the difference? Bit of satire for you then. Get me on if I got this.
Do you reckon Skynet is actually going to be real, and instead of like Sky Plus, it'll be Skynet?
Oh, fuck.
You have to subscribe to it, and you're like, oh god, I'd actually pay £20 a month for this shit, and I get nuked.
Have you used ChatGPT though? Because I have loads.
No, yeah. I know my brother James uses it a lot.
Yeah,
because he's always telling me about it. But
I
try and stay ignorant, to be fair, because it scares me.
Okay.
Your brother is ChatGPT. He's always got the answer to everything.
Well, yeah.
He likes the show as well.
Does he?
Yeah, I did ask him to come and be a guest one day, but a bit like Steve, he was a bit nervous. I think maybe next year, next year's wrap up.
But no, ChatGPT is amazing, but not a good thing overall.
Okay, I love it, and it writes like bits of bobs for me at work. Like if I can't be bothered to write out a long code for Excel.
But then you've just answered your own question. If it can do that for your work, why are you there?
Why am I there?
And wait till your boss works that out.
But you're always going to need that human element, especially like if you're like.
Press enter?
No. Well, I'm a manager of people, and
All right, brag.
yeah, right. I feel like you need some sort of human element with that, though. When people are trying to tell you their problems and you're trying to coach people and encourage them, that's how if you just went and sat down in a room and it was like, "Hello, welcome to your one-to-one," and it was just an AI, maybe it would be that one day.
That is how it is when you try and speak to companies, isn't it? I'm your chat assistant. Give me a fucking number. I want to speak to them.
Yeah, you always talk to a bot first.
Yeah, exactly. You speak to a bot first.
It tries to humanise it.
It does. Amazon, do you want to return this? No, I want a refund and to keep it. Where's the option for that? Oh, you have to speak to them. We're already there, and that's the scary part. We are now at a point in society where the law now needs to catch up to technology, not the other way around. We have self-driving cars. They're only a little while away. We have drones that can deliver things. They're literally on the horizon.
Yeah.
We have any job that can be done by software is going to be done by. It will be eventually, I think, done by artificial intelligence, because you don't have to pay them $50,000 a year and give them a pension, give them a sick leave.
They're never going to go sick. They're never going to get pregnant.
No, not yet.
He will not stop.
Fingers crossed.
Podcast. Physical media, which is another thing that technology is basically replaced, because we were talking about DVDs. I mean, I know Steve won't be happy because he owns Friends 3 times, but
Steve
he's trying to put a disc into a fucking skybox.
Yeah.
That is the way the world has gone now. You don't need physical media because the internet is so shit hot.
4K steelbooks. That's it.
Is that what you keep?
Yes.
It's
kind of what I collect. Like,
sure. I've got a cupboard here full of vinyl. I collect vinyl. I don't play them.
Exactly
Very rarely
that,
I play them.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have. You know?
It's nice to not play it. But this is the way
You
world...
love fucking like streaming and stuff. You think it's good to have everything.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
He used to always say, "I'm not putting a fucking disc in."
Hypocrite warning. Don't you have Robocop on 4K? Turtles on 4K?
Terminator 2. He's lent it to me.
Training Day.
No.
His favourites.
That's Training Day on DVD.
He loves Training Day.
I don't have many. I have
24-hour lockdown. Pelican.
I have Robocop Rogue City. I bought that as the first physical game I've bought in years.
That's because it was a bit cheaper.
Because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
And I have bought. Fuck me, it sounds like I'm a Robocop fucking absolute fucking I don't know enthusiast, which I suppose I am. I bought Robodoc, which is a Robocop. All right, I'm going to explain it to people.
Yeah,
so that is a documentary about Robocop, which is 4 hours long. Every hour is better than the last.
Did you like it?
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The one thing that streaming doesn't have, and I do find this weird, is it doesn't have the deleted scenes and the special features. And I don't understand why it doesn't have that, because all you would have to do is go into something and have that as an added on. There's no limitation to not do that. But when we got rid of DVDs and Blu-rays, we kind of lost all those special features. Not that anyone fucking really probably watched trailers.
I did.
They're on YouTube anyway.
I loved it, but like the extras on stuff like The Office and that, like all the deleted scenes is some.
But
of the
again,
stuff.
they're on YouTube, not legitimately.
They are, yeah, you're right. But the thing is, Potts, maybe you've answered your own question. Maybe that's why we still get Blu-rays and DVDs. They still make them, mate. I know it feels like it's a dying breed.
Not many people with the players anymore.
Sure.
Is it? Most people have got a Fire Stick or a smart TV.
But they still make them.
I know they still make them, but what I'm saying is that the next games consoles almost certainly will not have disc trays.
Yeah.
They will not have optical media.
No.
And also there won't be something after 4K Blu-ray. It is everything is through the internet. Now there is a pro and a con. Pro is you're not going to have to buy these at 15-20 quid a piece, but the con is that if you have a streaming service, they can be taken off at any point. They can be edited at any point.
Yeah.
They can go, do you know what, this isn't suitable for the time, and be edited and go, well, we don't want this reference being used anymore.
Yeah.
And so therefore everyone goes, oh, what if your internet goes off? Well, that doesn't happen very often anyway. But
that sounded like me.
What's that? Yeah. What if your internet goes off? Yeah, well, your internet does go off.
Exactly. It happens. It's a problem.
Yeah, no. But then what if your water goes off? You dehydrate and die. Do you know what I mean? It's like you send out the BT engineer, same as you send out Southern Water. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how many times has your internet actually gone off?
Quite a few. And the message is, well, it's all right, our end.
Yeah, it's kind of how the internet works. It needs to work on both. It's all right, Aaron. All right, well, fine. See you later then. Bye. I'm fine here.
Tell them to cap their kids again.
Fucking.
Just turn the gigahertz up.
Yeah, exactly. Turn the gigawatts up and we'll sort it out.
Podcast.
Well, hopefully our listeners like wrestling because AEW put on the biggest show in England
Yeah.
at Wembley Stadium since 1992, which was the WWE with their
What are they called?
SummerSlam. AEW, All Elite Wrestling.
Okay.
I was there. I went.
Oh, you went, didn't you?
Yeah, I sat on the pitch. It was amazing. The atmosphere was incredible. I'm going next year. So I think Tony Khan, who is the head honcho, owns the company and everything, he's got a good working relationship with Wembley Stadium now apparently. So who knows how many more years it's going to run. But yeah, the paid attendance was 81,000 people. I think 74,000 showed up, something like that. Huge numbers. Absolutely incredible, isn't it? And yeah, mad. I think it's mad. That many people were at the
Are they getting big then? This I've kind of heard of them.
They've got some really good signings. Some
They
good wrestlers.
poach WWE wrestlers.
Yeah, I think they sort of jump ship to each other. CM Punk, literally 2 days ago, returned to WWE. He showed up at the Survivor Series, which people thought would never happen because he was served papers on his wedding day, wasn't he? And was fired on his wedding day and stuff. They really were nasty to him and he was nasty to them, and it didn't end well. That was 2014. Then he shows up in 2021 in this new company, and people thought he's back to wrestling. No one ever thought that would happen. He always said, "I'll never do it." Did that? That was mental. Now he's back in WWE.
He went back on his word, so he's weak.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing for wrestling fans, I think. It's good to have a rival company. Steve and I really like wrestling. And
yeah, no, you're big time into your wrestling. Good talking in regards to wrestling, it's WWE, as you were talking about, that's been sold, and Vince McMahon has sold it off to...
I think it's one company.
The cage fight, is it the
It's UFC and WWE together under one umbrella, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to embarrass myself.
So Vince McMahon has, in celebration of getting 2.5 billion or whatever it was, has grown a pencil tash. But he's still on the board, so he's still involved in some part.
It's called TKO.
TKO, Total Knockout.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Guess.
The technical knockout word. UFC and WWE together, yeah, multi-billion-pound deal. He has, Vince. He looks a bit like fucking out of the Addams Family, doesn't he now?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Which one out of the Addams Family?
Fucking, I don't know, the old guy. The main guy.
Gomez.
Gomez.
Yeah.
The old guy. The dad. Not Uncle Fester. He shaved his head off and looks like Christopher Lloyd.
Well, did Wednesday come out this year or was that last year? I didn't watch that anyway. Probably
They come out on a Wednesday.
no point talking about it.
Podcast.
You know what I love more than wrestling?
What?
Chris Pratt's Italian accent.
This is from... So I haven't seen... So this is for the Mario movie that's come out recently.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, but what?
But what you just said.
You did.
But to be fair, doesn't he use it in 10 seconds of the film, and then he just goes back to his voice?
Pretty much, yeah.
He does a couple of Mario.
Sort of I don't know.
Me, Mario!
Yeah, pretty much that, and then he just goes back to talking like Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jack Black as Bowser's a pretty good choice, I think.
Jack Black's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
I haven't seen the film, but I like the Sonic movie.
I actually think you would like it.
Yeah, no, I'll probably give it a go at some point. I just don't want to watch it on my own. You know, when you kind of want to watch it with someone that's age appropriate, that's going to kind of appreciate that it's a kids' film, isn't it?
I'll watch it with you.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose you are.
Because I've seen it, so I don't mind you
right.
talking all the way through it.
So that draws our episode to its conclusion for the end of the year episode roundup of 2023. Thank you all you guys who've been subscribed and listening and following us all throughout the year. We've got lots of exciting things planned for next year. Let me say thank you to my producer friend Jordan.
Cheers, mate. You're welcome.
And thank you to our special guest Steve for joining us for this episode today.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Why you turned into Terrence and Phillip, I don't know.
No, I appreciate the invite. Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. I've been Potts. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next year. Have a great Christmas.